Geobyte.
Hi students, welcome to the Geobyte Diploma series. In the last video, we discussed the simply supported beam with point loads. But in this video, let us consider the effect of UDL on shear force diagram and bending moment diagrams with the simply supported beam. Look at the simply supported beam. It consists of two point loads 4 kilonewton 4 kilonewton and 3 kilonewton. These two are point loads and one UDL is also there. This is the UDL. 2 kilonewton per meter is the UDL. For this beam, you are asked to decide the shear force diagram and bending moment diagram. For that, let us mark the points like A, B, C and D. Before going to find the shear force values, you need to find the reaction at A, that is RA, and reaction at B, that is RB. RA plus RB, listen carefully. RA plus RB equal to sum of the actions. 4 kilonewtons is one point load plus 3 kilonewton is another point load plus UDL. RA plus RB is the sum of the point loads. But how do we get the point load from the UDL? By multiplying UDL with UDL distance. Here UDL distance is 3 meters. You can also verify with the units. Simplify this value for getting 4 plus 3, 7 plus 6, 13. 13 kilonewtons. Now let us take the moments. Let us take the moments. Moments about B, about A. You can also take B, it's not a problem. But general practice is that taking moments about 1 minute. Let me write it clearly. Taking moments about A. You can also take about B. Now we are going to equate the sum of the clockwise moments with anti-clockwise moments. Taking moments about A means the A is the reference line or reference point. With respect to the A, RB, look at the RB. RB is developing the here RB is developing the anti-clockwise moments 4 kilonewtons, comma 2 kilonewtons plus UDL 2 kilonewton per meter into 3 meters into 3 meters. These are all developing the clockwise moments. Just we are equating the clockwise moments with anti-clockwise moments. Then RB into, tell me RB into up to distance A, because we are taking the moments about A. RB into up to distance A is 8, must be equal to 4 into 2, 4 into up to distance A plus 3 into 5, 3 into up to distance 5, up to distance A. These two are the point loads. Now come to the UDL. For getting the moment for the UDL, first you have to convert from UDL to point load. How do you get the point load from the UDL? By multiplying UDL with UDL distance. 2 2 kilonewton per meter into 3 meters, UDL multiplied by UDL distance gives the point load. That resultant point load is acting at the middle of the DC. From that middle point to this may be the middle point. From that middle point to this may be the middle point. 1 minute. This may be the middle point. From that middle point, the distance up to A. What is the distance up to A from the middle point? 2 plus 1.5, 3.5. You simplify this value for getting the RB. I got RB equal to 5.5 kilonewtons. Then RA equal to 13 minus 5.5. 13 minus 5.5 is 7.5. 7.5 kilonewtons. So RA equal to 7.5 kilonewtons and RB equal to 5.5. 5.5. Now let us go for the SF calculations. For SF calculations, let us take the different color. SF calculations. Downward forces you take positive. Upward forces you take negative. That's all. Negative. Now let us calculate the shear force values from right to left. Shear force at shear force at B. At B it is upward force. Upward force is taken as negative minus 5.5 kilonewtons. Similarly, shear force at C already minus 5.5 is there, plus at C it is point load, downward load, that too. The downward force is positive, plus 3 equal to minus 2.5 kilonewton. Similarly, shear force at, look at the D. At D, two effects are there. One is UDL effect, other one is point load effect. In that case, you have to find the SF at just before D. For finding the just before D, you consider only effect of UDL. Already minus 2.5 kilonewtons is there, plus how do you get the point load from the UDL? Multiplying UDL with UDL distance. Multiplied UDL with UDL distance, 2 into 3. It is 6 minus 2.5 is equal to 3.5. 3.5 kilonewtons. Next, SF at exactly D. Already 3.5 is there, plus at D, how much load is there? 4. It is downward force, positive, equal to 7.5 kilonewtons. Please go through the first video, or it is better to practice from the first video, particularly the SFD and BMD, because the concept is very, very important. Now look at the SF at A. SF at A equal to 7.5 minus 7.5. Why it is minus, my dear students? The load at A, that is the reaction, is upward force. Upward force is taken as negative. Look at the sign representation. Upward force is negative. Downward force is positive. So 7 minus 7.5 minus 7.5 is equal to 0. Definitely you should get the shear force value at A is 0. Now what you do, my dear friends, you project the thin vertical lines. Project the thin vertical lines like this. Project the number of vertical lines like this. You take the reference line. Take the reference line. This is your 1 minute. This is your reference line, like A, B, C, D. With respect to that line, you take the marking sign representation positive, negative. Means positive value should be taken above the reference line, negative values below the reference line. Look at the SF at B. SF at B minus 5.5 somewhere here. Similarly, SF at C minus 2.5. Minus 2.5. SF at just before D 3.5. SF at D 7.5. SF at A 0. Now start from A and B, start from the B, go for the value, start from B and go for the value, come to the next line, go for the value, join the effect of UDL on shear force. It is a straight line variation, then go for the, this is the effect of this is the 1 minute, this is the effect of UDL, and effect of point load at D is this one. Go for the next line, come to the value, close it. That is the shear force diagram. The shear force diagram varying linearly under UDL. Now what should you do? You have to make up it. Boundary. This is the boundary marking. That is how the shear force diagram can be constructed with the combined effect of point load and UDL. Right. Now look at the shear force diagram. Here shear force diagram is changing its sign from negative to positive or positive to negative. 1 minute, I will remove this part. I will mark somewhere here 1 minute. Otherwise you may be confusing. Okay, leave it. So then this is the positive, this is the negative. Remember, wherever the shear force diagram changes its sign, from negative to positive or positive to negative, there you are getting the maximum bending moment. At that point K, let that is the K, point K. At that point K, shear force diagram changes its sign from negative to positive or positive to negative. At that point, bending moment is maximum. To find the maximum bending moment at that location, first I should find the distance. Let this is the 1 minute. Okay, let us mark like this. This is the x. So at a distance of x from the C, maximum bending moment is occurring. That x should be found for this particular case to identify the maximum bending moment. But for the previous simply supported beam, we did not find that x value, because for the previous diagram, where the shear force diagram is changing its sign exactly either at C or either at D. Since the shear force diagram changes its sign from negative to positive or positive to negative in the previous cases, exactly either C or D, we did not find the X. But for this case, other than at C and D, the shear force diagram is changing its sign. Therefore, you should find the distance X. For that, okay. For that, let us take the shear force. एक minute. SF. Let us find the shear force at K. एक minute. Let me take the thick line. SF at K. What is the SF at K? Definitely SF at K equal to 0, because at that K the shear force diagram is changing its sign from negative to positive or positive to negative. Anyhow, SF at K somewhere here. This is the K, this is the X, this is the K. Now let us find the SF at K. SF at K equal to minus 5.5, that is the reaction vertical upward force, negative, plus 3 point load, plus UDL multiplied by UDL distance up to K, 2 into X. I hope you understood. For finding the shear force value at A, right, you take the different values, like just count how many forces are there or how many loads are there before K. One reaction acting vertical upwards, that should be negative, vertical upward force is negative, this is negative, and this is the positive because vertically downward force, and 2 into X, UDL into UDL distance up to K is also downward force. It must be equal to 0. It must be equal to 0. Let us simplify this value. It must be equal to 0. Let us simplify the value. 1 minute. Let us simplify that part. Minus 5.5 plus 3 minus 2.5 plus 2x equal to 0. From this 2x equal to other, I have limited space. Let me write directly. From this x equal to 2.5 by 2 equal to 2.5 by 2. 2.5 by 2 gives 1.25. 1.25. At that distance, the bending moment is maximum. That means maximum bending moment is occurring at a distance of 1.25 meters from C. Let me note that point. Maximum bending moment is occurring maximum 1 minute. Maximum bending moment occurs at a distance of 1.25 meters from C. At a distance of 1.5 meters, maximum bending moment is occurring. Now let us have the bending moment calculations. BM okay, I should have the space. Okay, 1 minute. I have the space for constructing BM. The BM should be drawn below the SF only. I should not draw separately. So you remember that point. Otherwise at last I will write that point. It's not a matter. Remember that point because the space is also limited. Now come to the BM calculations. For that, clockwise moments negative, anti-clockwise moments positive. Now BM at B how much? 0. For any simply supported beam, bending moment at both ends equal to 0. BM at B equal to 0 and BM at A also equal to 0. Now let us take the BM at C. You just count how many loads are there or how many forces are there before point C. Before C, only one reaction is there. That too, that reaction is developing anti-clockwise moment. Anti-clockwise moments are taken as positive. So 5.5 multiplied by 3. That is the bending moment at C. Similarly, simplification can be done later. Bending moment at D. Bending moment at D equal to, tell me, at D it is, now count how many loads are there before D. One 5.5 reaction is there, 3 kilonewtons also reaction is there, and 1 UDL is there. Now the BM at D equal to 5.5 into 6, that is giving the anti-clockwise moment. Anti-clockwise moment should be taken as positive, minus 3 into 3. 3 into 3 gives the clockwise moment. Clockwise moment should be taken as negative. This is the effect of point load, this is the effect of reaction, and effect of UDL. Effect of UDL is, first you try to convert from UDL to point load by multiplying UDL with UDL distance. Once you multiply UDL with UDL distance, you are getting the point load. Assume that point load is acting at the middle of the DC. From that middle point, you take the distance up to D, that is 3 by 2, 1.5. 1.5 directly I have written. Once again, if you want to get the bending moment from the UDL, first you have to convert from UDL to point load. How do you get the point load from the UDL? By multiplying UDL with UDL distance. Once you multiply UDL with UDL distance, you are getting the point load. Assume that resultant point load is acting at the middle. From that middle point to distance up to D, or up to where we are finding the bending moment. Now let us simplify these values. So BM at C I got 16.5 kilonewton meter. BM at D is 15 kilonewton meter. Is it BM calculation part completed? No, not completed, because you have to find the maximum bending moment at state K, because at that state K bending moment is maximum, because at that state K SF diagram changes its sign from negative to positive. Now let us find the bending moment at K. Definitely at that state you will get the, at state K you are getting the maximum bending moment. That's why straight away I am writing maximum bending moment. So 1 minute I will use separate marker, separate color. Maximum BM at K equal to the, tell me how many loads are there before K. One reaction is there, 3 kilonewtons point load is there, 2 kilonewton per meter load is there for a distance of x. So bending moment at K equal to moment due to reaction developing the anti-clockwise moment, 5.5 into 3 plus x. X is 1.25. 3 point, not 3 point, 4.25. 1 minute. Because 3 plus 1.25. 4.25. Should be very careful in the limited space. Minus 3 into, well, minus 3 into up to distance K. Up to distance K is 1.25. Minus 2 into 1.5. UDL into UDL distance gives the point load. Assume that point load is acting at the middle of the CK. from that middle point to distance up to k, that is 1.5 by 2. I hope you understood. 5.5 into 4.25 is the moment due to reaction, it is anti-clockwise moment. 3 into 1.25 is the moment due to point load. Moment due to UDL is, first I got the point load by multiplying UDL with UDL distance. Once we get the point load from the UDL, assume that point load is acting at the middle of the CK. From that middle point to distance up to K is half of that X. X is 1.5 divided by 2. You simplify it, definitely you will get the maximum value. Let me simplify that value. I got the value 17.375. It's not meter, it is kilonewton meter. It is kilonewton meter. Look at the value. Among the three bending moments, 16.5, 15, 17.375. So among these three values, definitely 17.375 is the maximum bending moment. Definitely you are getting the maximum bending moment wherever the shear force diagram changes its sign from negative to positive. For that, what you do, my dear students, you have to project the vertical lines from the respective points like this. You take the reference line. You know that reference line should be marked such that space should be available above the line because it has only positive bending moment values. So this is the positive sign representation, negative sign. Here it is A, B, C, D. Okay. Bending moment at B equal to how much? 0. Bending moment at A also 0. Bending moment at C 16.5. Bending moment at D 15. It should be below 16.5. 15. Bending moment at K, I should mark the line from K also, that is 17.1 minute. This line, that better to use the thin line. 1 minute, no, thin line. From the K project a line like this. Then maximum bending moment is occurring at K, the state K, where you are finding the maximum bending moment. That maximum bending moment is 17.375. Now let us draw the 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute space is limited. This may be the maximum bending moment, 17.375. This is. Now start from the B. The effect of UDL on the BM is parabolic variation. Effect of point load is straight line variation. Between the B and C, point loads are there, straight line variation. Bending moment is varying in the straight line manner, linearly. It is like this. It's a straight line variation. But in between the DC, what is there? UDL. UDL is causing for parabolic variation like this. UDL is causing for parabolic variation. And in between the D and A, point loads are there. Point loads are causing for straight line variation in the BM diagram. That is the BM diagram for the given simply supported beam. So this is the, let me take another color, BM diagram. I am trying to write clearly, very clearly, for avoiding the confusion. Okay, so this is how the SFD and BMD can be constructed for the given simply supported beam with 2 point loads and one UDL. Look at the next problem, my dear students. Simply supported beam with one UDL and 2-point loads. But in this case, the UDL is given between the left support and 3 kilonewton load. For the previous case, between the 2-point loads, UDL is given. For this, let me mark the points like A, B, C, D. First, what should you do? You have to find the reaction at A. Should find the reaction at A and reaction at B. Reaction at B is RB. Now, first let us find the RA plus RB. RA plus RB equals sum of the point loads. 5 plus 3, another point load, plus how do we get the point load from the UDL? By multiplying UDL with UDL distance. 1 multiplied by 2. It is 2 only. 5 plus 3 plus 2 equal to 10 kilonewton. Now let us take the moments about A to find the RA and RB separately. Taking moments about A. I told you can also take about B. That's not a problem. You will get the same answer. Taking moments about A. So because of the moments about A, RB is developing the anti-clockwise moment. 3 plus 5, these are the point loads. Let me write orderly. 5 kilonewton plus 3 kilonewton plus UDL with UDL distance. 1 kilonewton per meter into 2 meters. This is the point load. All these loads are developing the clockwise moments. We are just equating the clockwise moments with the anti-clockwise moments. Taking moments about A means RB into up to distance A. Up to distance A is 6. Must be equal to moment due to 5 kilonewtons. 5 into up to distance A, 4, plus 3 into up to distance 2. Up to distance A, 3 into 2, plus UDL. First get the point load from the UDL by multiplying UDL with UDL distance. 1 into 2 gives the point load. That point load is acting at the middle of the AD, right? From that middle point to the distance up to A, that is 2 by 2. It is equal to 20. It is equal to 20. Otherwise, because I have limited space, directly let me write the RB value. So RB I got is 4.67. Then RA equal to 10 minus 4.67. It may be 5.33. The summation of these two values must be equal to 10. Let me verify. Yes, that summation equal to 10 only. Our answers are absolutely correct. Now let us go for the shear force calculations. Usual notations: downward force positive, upward force negative. Now shear force calculations from B to A. Shear force at A, shear force at B equal to, at B, 1 minute, let me write the RB value 4.67. RA equal to 5.33. SF at B, it is a vertical upward force. vertical upward force should be taken as negative minus 4.67 kilonewtons. Similarly, SF at C already minus 4.67 is there, plus at C it is 5, it is 0.33 kilonewtons. 0.33 kilonewtons. SF at D 0.33 already is there, plus at D it is 3, equal to 3.33 kilonewtons. SF at A one reaction is there, that is looking like a point load, and one UDL is there. For that case, you have to find the SF at just before A. I hope you understood. Since two effects are there at A, one is UDL effect, other one is point load effect. That's why first I am finding shear force just before A. For finding the just before A shear force, you take only effect of UDL. Once again, to find the shear force value at just before A, you consider the effect of only UDL. Already 3.33 kilonewtons load is there, plus UDL multiplied by UDL distance gives the point load 1 into 2. 1 into 2, it is 5.55. It is 5.55, 5.33. 1 minute. 5.33 kilonewtons. Then SF shear force at exactly A. 1 minute. Shear force at A. SF at A. Shear force at A equal to already 5.33 is there. But what is the shear force at A? What is the point load at A? 5.33 vertical upwards. Vertical upward force is negative, minus 5.33. It must be equal to 0. That is how the shear force value can be decided at A. I hope all of you understood. Now I am going to construct the SF diagram. For that, project the vertical lines. Project the vertical lines from the respective points. You take a reference line such that space should be required above the reference line and below the reference line, because the shear force value is both positive and negative for the simply supported beam. It may be positive, negative like this: A, B, C and D. SF at B minus 4.67, it is 4.67 like this. SF at C plus 0.33, plus 0.33 like this. At D it is 3.33. At just before A it is 5.33. Exactly it is 0. 5.33. Okay. Now let us construct the shear force diagram. Start from B, go for the value, come to the next line, go for the value, come to the next line. These are all the effects of point loads. But in between D and A, you should draw a straight line, because there the effect is UDL. Under UDL, shear force diagram is varying linearly. This is the shear. Join it, close it. That is the shear force diagram. Now what you do? You have to go for the makeup. You have to go for the makeup like this. this is how the shear force diagram can be constructed. 1 minute, I will finish it. Listen carefully. While you are listening the video, don't try to listen the video by standing position. Sit comfortably, sit armly in a place, then try to listen the class. SFD. This is the shear force diagram. SFD. I can also write like this. Now come to the BM calculations. Now I am going for BM calculations. BM calculations, maybe like this. BM calculations. BM calculations. Clockwise movement should be taken negative. Anti-clockwise movement should be taken positive. Now, with this information, let us find the BM values at different locations. Let me write this one, this part. It is not looking good because clarity in the writing. BM calculations like this. Clockwise movements negative. Anti-clockwise movement positive like this. Now the BM at B. What is the BM at B, dear students? 0. Very good. Because for a simply supported beam, the bending moment at both ends equal to 0. BM at B equal to 0. BM at A equal to 0. Here you should not find that X for deciding maximum bending moment. Look at the location where the shear force diagram changes its sign from negative to positive. Exactly, let's see. The shear force diagram changes its sign from negative to positive. At that location you are finding the maximum bending moment. Since the shear force diagram is changing sign from negative to positive, exactly, let's see, you need not to find that X value what you have decided for the previous case. Now BM at C, bending moment at C. You just count how many loads are there before C. Before C only reaction is there. Because of the reaction, the beam is suffering by anti-clockwise moment. That anti-clockwise moments are taken as positive. So 4.67 multiplied by 2, it is anti-clockwise moment positive. Similarly, BM at D. Count how many loads are there before D. One reaction is there at B that develops anti-clockwise moment, and 5 kilonewton is developing the clockwise moment. In general, clockwise moments are negative, anti-clockwise moments are positive. Let me write that RB into 4.67 into up to distance D is 4 minus the 5 into up to distance D 2. Simplify this value. I got BM at C is 9.34 kilonewton meter and D at D it is 8.68 kilonewton meter. Now let us construct the shear bending moment diagram. Project the reference lines, vertical lines. The BMD should not be drawn separately. BMD should be drawn under shear force diagram only. Now let us select the reference line. This is the reference line. Space is required above the reference line only because bending moment line or bending moment curve is or bending moment values are positive only. Bending moment diagram comes above the reference line only because positive values are taken above the reference line. This is the A, This is the B, C and D. What is the BM at B? 0. BM at A also 0. BM at A also 0. Let me mark here. And BM at C 9.34. This may be 9.34. 9.34. And BM at D it is 8.68. Somewhere here 8.68. Now start from B, go for the value. This is the effect of point load only. Under UDL, the bending moment diagram. Under UDL only, bending moment diagram varying parabolically. Under point loads, the bending moment diagram varying linearly. In between the C and D also, only point load effect, straight line. But between the D and A, UDL effect is there. So that UDL effect is causing for parabolic variation in the bending moment. This is a parabolic variation. That is how the bending moment diagram is changing. Bending moment diagram is changing. Let us mark the boundary like this. So this is the BM diagram. I hope all of you understood, my dear students. So with this I am concluding this video. Dear students, just practice these two problems. You try to put on the paper with pen or pencil. Definitely you are getting the doubts. If you get doubt, you just go through the video once again. Still if you have doubt or still if you need any clarifications, you can send a message to me. Definitely I will answer for you in online. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our GeoByte and share these videos to your friends, whoever is needed. For all the mechanical students, these are very very important. Please subscribe it and share it. Right? Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.
GeoByte.